everybody. How are you guys today? In the words, Blake Shelton, everyone down here has TikTok, where he's got that says, "We're farming." Well, that's what we're doing today. Good weather. There's Dale running the soil finisher there. I'm just disking down some corn stalks. This is, we're going to plant soybeans into this here, so I got to disc down these corn stalks. This field here is one of them that had damage last year from the tornado that went through. So there's a lot of ears of corn laying on the ground that didn't get picked up from the combine last year. It doesn't look all that bad until you start disking it and you're working up the ears that were buried by the leaves and stuff that was covered up by the combine. So this field and then that one down there, both had corn on them last year. That was oats, planted oats, and that one seeded it out. But the oats is actually just starting to peek through, I'm pretty sure. I haven't actually got out and looked at it, but it looks like something growing there. Maybe it's weeds, I don't know. So we sprayed some sod down today, almost 10 acres of sod that we sprayed that we're gonna no-till corn into. This field here, Dale is soil finishing, is gonna be corn. Probably asking and wondering why we have a no-till corn planter and we're not no-tilling everything. Well, I don't know if there's really a good answer to that other than weed control at this point. Yeah, I know probably spray pre-plant spray program or whatever. This year hasn't been great for spraying to begin with because it's either raining or it's windy or it's both. So it wouldn't be a good time to spray. It actually is a little bit breezy today. It might have been borderline spray weather the way it was, but we sprayed early enough before the winds kind of picked up. So yeah, that's one of the reasons there. And then with the corn stalks, we don't have trash whips on our corn planter at this point. So there actually were trash whips on it when we got it, but they needed to have some adjustments done to them. And when we got the planter, we got it going, and we needed to plant, so we just took them off in the middle of planting because they were kind of screwed up, and that's it. They were basically plowing in front of the corn row, so it was not working real great. So we just took them off, and they're still sitting in the milk house yet. Other than that, I guess there hasn't had a whole lot going on. That heifer had a calf that I was talking about middle of the week. She had it yesterday. So there's one calf left to have me born, and then they'll have to get vaccinated and turned out to pasture. has been just kind of screwy. And even if we, you know, it's borderline ready to plant to begin with. If we were a 200% no-till, I think a guy could probably plant. But being the fact that we're working the ground up, it's yeah, the dust may be flying back there, but it's sticky underneath there yet. So I worked up a couple acres last night with the soil finisher, and it was sticking to the rolling basket and the tines on it. So, and then even running on the discs on the disc here, there it isn't anything overly dry. But I think a guy could probably manage if he was just, you know, 100% no-till. Probably wouldn't work out too bad because the ground is soft enough yet that it probably would cover the seed pretty well, and then that the moisture in the ground would give it a pretty good jump start, I would think. Yeah, they brought over fertilizer last night to spread on the new seeding there, and so Dale did that last night. And I don't know for sure if you guys remember, I know one of my videos, it's really hard to run a camera here, videotape and lift the thing up at the same time. But if you guys remember this late winter, I had a video of I think it's the project list video, if I remember right. I had a video of, I was going to put some tires, I got some tires for the tractor. And in all honesty, this tractor, the 96 here, is one that actually needed the tires. But what I end up doing is buying some 1116s. I'm not sure if I told you that. I know I told you about the tires, but anyway. So my theory was I was going to take the tires off the front of this 1256 and put them on this tractor. Those tires are pretty good, and being the fact that the 1256 has oversized tires, it's got bigger tires in the back, I decided I would put the 1116s on the front of that to make it look a little better, I guess, whether or not it would. So anyway, got around to doing that. I believe it was not last weekend, it must have been the weekend before. We went to go do that, and we mounted up the tire on the rim, and it split. So we took the tire back off. I actually called the tire guy that I had got the tires from, which was a tire shop. There is a tire shop. And he was very good about it, and he was going to refund me my money on those 2 tires. Because I wasn't going to put the other one on. Or he says he'd find me another one. And I said, to be honest with you, I said, I really only need 1 tire and a 1016. If you guys just want to credit me my money back and then just get me 1 brand new one to put on the front of the 986, I have no problem with that. And I'll just pay the difference or whatever. So, and he agreed to that, and I said I'll just stop up sometime and I'll get the tire. That was, I think, 2 weeks ago, I believe is what it was. I said I'd call before I come. Well, it turns out that I actually had an appointment in Fenimore, is where the tire shop is at, this coming Tuesday. So in like 3 days. Today is Saturday. So I'm like, well, I'll just go up there, and while I'm up there, grab the tire, return the other ones, no big deal. I called him, actually it was yesterday, I called him and said that was my plan. He said, absolutely no problem. So I come home from work last night, Dale was out spread fertilizer with the 986 here, and so I got home, and then after that I ran up to the farm to see what was going on or whatever. I get over to the machine shed, the 986 is sitting there. He had just come down off the ridge and he had the floor jack underneath the front axle. Well, the tire that I was going to replace got a hole in it. Whether he ran a corn stalk up through it or something, I'm not totally sure what happened. But he got a hole in it, and it was like, oh no. And we have an extra tire in the barn that come off of, I believe, the 1256. We put new tires in front of that. We had one of them that was still actually not in terrible shape. And he had that, was going to put it on. I said, well, that'd be kind of dumb to put that tire on, and then I got to take it back off again in like 3 days. So I said, we gotta come up with something else. So I actually got a hold of the guy, and he was going to be there today. I thought I'd run up there and grab the new tire, but it just, things kind of got hectic around here, and I never did go up there to go get it. So what we ended up doing, instead of having to switch a bunch of tires around to get this, because nothing else has 8-bolt rims other than the 1256 around here, we actually have a set of tires and rims that we put on the 12 when we tractor pull sometimes. They're a smaller tire. They're 11L15. So, long story short, well, actually, it's been a long story, and actually, it's just a long story long at this point. We ended up putting that tire on, and we didn't even want to dink around. So, there we have one 11L15 4-rib, and this side we have a 1016 3-rib on it, and that's what we're going to do until Tuesday when I go get that other tire. I guess it is what it is. I didn't want to think with it anymore. It works fine. Looks a little goofy. It doesn't look terrible from inside the tractor, but I'm guessing the outside of it looks a little silly. So yeah, that was that. We had, and actually this morning we also, actually probably was more of this afternoon, we worked up, there's a waterway over on that side of the ridge over there that we had to fix, or actually extend. So we did that this morning after I spread the fertilizer this morning on the corn ground. They brought the fertilizer last night for the corn. I run the 986 on up and spread fertilizer. So yeah, this field here, this is still one of the fields yet that had the tornado damage on it. So there's a lot of corn stalks. Probably, looking back, we had talked about it and we just never didn't get around to getting time to do it. We were going to shred the corn stalks on this in around Balaam because we knew there was going to be ears of corn, you know, on, I'm gonna get a video of Dale here. The tractor sounds pretty tough, so we'll. And this is my get up here. There's the little weenie tire on it. So, but yeah, this is the, it's still a little, it'd make a good pulling track at this point. Definitely a little sticky yet. I'd hate to plant into that at this point, so. That field there that Dale's actually working on is going to be soybeans. We've got 2 fields up here. That one, and then there's one right in front of me right here that were soybeans last year, and we're going to put soybeans back on them on this year. Because if everything went as rotated like we normally would, we would have this field right here. This is the sod field we sprayed this morning. This runs this way and then runs all the way that end of the ridge. It's almost a mile long contour strip. So it'd be corn, 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 and then corn on the top. There'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields of corn right in a row. And I was not wanting that. The whole side of the ridge, other than this right here, was going to be corn. These 2 fields here are going to be soybeans this year. So I decided that maybe we should just try to do a couple of fields and contour it back up again a little better, and put some soybean on soybean ground. We've done it in the past. Never, I don't think never quite this many, because it's probably close to, probably 10 acres there of it that way. But it's, we don't usually go that much. We've done 4 or 5 acres, you know, just to try it. And it seems to work out okay. We haven't had any problems yet. But yeah, this field here is when we sprayed. It's already, you can already start, well, you can, but I can see that it's already starting to wilt. And the coyotes have been awful hard on the fields this year up here. There's holes dug. I wanted to get up and drag the hay field this year, and I don't think that's going to happen. Try to, because there's a couple of hay fields that they tore up pretty good. Trying to level out some of the mounds, ruts, whatever, holes. There's one right there. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not sure. We have all of our corn seed. They just come and filled up the buggy for the fertilizer for the soybeans. So that'll get spread. I don't know if it'll get spread tonight or not yet. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, so not fully sure what's all going to happen. But we still haven't even got the corn planter out of the shed yet. It's still sitting back in the corner, and that's going to go on this tractor. There's no monitor or nothing hooked up in here at this point yet. Luckily, it isn't terrible to get hooked up. In a couple hours, you guys can have the monitor and all that put in it and such. We have the corn seed. We do not have our soybean seed. So I guess worst case, we could always plant corn tomorrow. It depends on what happened, I guess. Listening to the weather. Sounds like rain again. This maybe on Monday. Mostly cloudy. Tomorrow it sounds like. And so yeah, I'm not totally sure what's going to happen. It's warm. It's supposed to warm up, so we're getting that anyway. The warmth is coming now. So it went from being 40s and 50s to it's supposed to be in the 80s on Monday. So it's in probably upper 60s today. My brother has a hooded sweatshirt on. I don't honestly know if he needs that. But he is kind of cold-blooded. This field, these two fields here, didn't have any damage on them really from the tornado. A little bit back in that corner over there where I turned around. It just caught the corner of that field. There's a little bit of damage in the woods here. It knocked some trees over. But there wasn't too much damage on this side over here. That was a big rock. Over here, right there, there's a sinkhole. That's probably been more than 10 years since it opened up. It's right there. It started out as a hole that was just big enough to drop a tire into, and that's exactly what happened. I'm guessing it probably would have been 2009 or 10, I suppose, maybe more than 10 years ago. My dad was still, I don't know if Dad was still, see there it is right there. My dad was still farming. I'm not sure if Dad still owned the farm yet, or if it was after me and Dale bought it. But he had come up here to plow, moldboard plow. He had the plow on the 1256 Dale's tractor, and he dropped the plow right in that area right there, started plowing, and all of a sudden the tractor just fell in a hole, and that's how it didn't tip the tractor over is beyond me. But yeah, the plowing right there, and it just fell right in the hole. And say when it started, it was literally the size of like a truck tire, like a round, probably 2 feet, I suppose. across. And before it was all said and done, it was probably enough size you could drop a tractor in there, I'm sure. And that was, and then that, I think we went, obviously worked around it, and then that fall we put the cattle up here, and we actually fenced it off with like the snow fence, so the cattle wouldn't go around it. That has since all fallen into the hole. Now there's the bottom there. I mean, that's probably 10 foot deep, I suppose. But when it was the hole there, you couldn't see. There was no bottom. It was the hole kind of went up the hill. So it was lucky. We didn't lose the tractor or break the wheel off, or Dad didn't get hurt, killed, or whatever. So anyway, that's enough of my jibber jabbering. We're gonna keep on trucking along here. And yeah, there's some more hammer right there. Got twisted these trees up in this area. So anyway, we'll talk at you later.